What's up, guys? The Lakers beat the Knicks in overtime. We got some Warriors action for you, and we'll let you see how the playoff race is shaking up and who nobody wants to face come playoff time. All right, I think this one will be pretty quick today because there's not a ton to catch up on, but I wanted to go over quick. The Lakers beat the Knicks in overtime yesterday. That was again without LeBron James. A lot of people were speculating that yesterday would be his first game back, but it wasn't. He is planning on being back for their next game, but he wasn't there. So the Lakers ended up winning that game. They had like biggest problem in storylines here are the Lakers had some people step up. You know, Kyle Kuzma had 23 points. Anthony Davis had 20 points, but he wasn't efficient at all. Didn't look great. And towards the end of the game, he hurt his groin. So it was really good and important for them to get the win if you're a Lakers fan. But there's still plenty to be worried about because Anthony Davis just seems he didn't leave the game or anything like that, but it seems like he's having a tough time staying healthy, and you're going to need that in the playoffs, especially because the Warriors are peaking at the right time, man. The Warriors beat the Suns 122 to 116. They beat the Jazz, who, to be fair, the Jazz don't have Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley right now, so they're losing they didn't have two of their key players, but there's no doubting that the Warriors are peaking at the right time right now. I don't know where they would be. You know, I don't know if you were like a power ranking. I don't know where they should be right now because it really is a Warriors team that we haven't seen recently because we've seen Steph just win games by himself this year. Like Steph has done some crazy, crazy things, but that's not what happened in this game. Other people on the team stepped up. Andrew Wiggins had the most points with 38 points in the game. You see Steph with 21, and that is going to be key if they're going to make a playoff run, is other people have to step up as well. And it seems like they're trending in the right direction. So, scary thought for anybody, especially if you're going to see them in the play-in. Like, that is not a team that you want to see in the play-in tournament. So, I'm sure a lot of teams are nervous about that. I would be. And that's why it's even more crucial for the Lakers to get LeBron back, to win games, but also at the same time, keep him and Anthony Davis healthy because in the end, the playoffs matter more. So they're trying to like juggle this whole do we rest and get them healthy for the playoffs? But if we do that, we will be in the play-in tournament and we could be eliminated in 2 games. So it's tough right now. It's tough for the Lakers to figure out what they're supposed to do because this Warriors team is making things pretty difficult for everybody. Let's just go show you the other NBA scores. We got the Bucks over the Magic, the Grizzlies over the Mavericks, and this is huge. So now the Mavericks and the Trailblazers are now, once this updates, they're both a game ahead of the Lakers. So if the Lakers keep winning and one of these teams drop, the Lakers can jump out of this is the 5 and 6 seed right here. So 5, 6, 7. Lakers can jump to that 5 or 6 and get out of the play-in tournament, which is very important because of this Warriors team right here, who nobody wants to mess with right now. So that's what's going on. Here's some more scores. Nets beat the Bulls. Clippers beat the Raptors. Nuggets beat the Hornets. And there you go. Now let's move on to NFL action. This one is kind of funny. So the Bucks GM was talking about Tom Brady, and he was like, I don't know how long, we don't know the long-term plans. Tom he set how long he wanted his contract to be, and so he can move around if he wants, or maybe he'll resign and stay there. The GM didn't really speak to that, but he's like, I think he can play until he's 50, which is funny because this is definitely a shot at Brian Gutekunst and the Packers GM, because the Bucks, if you notice, the Bucks drafted a quarterback. They drafted Kyle Trask in this draft, but they had just won the Super Bowl. They brought everybody back, and their first pick was an offensive lineman to protect Tom Brady. And then in the second round, they picked Kyle Trask as he can develop and become our starting quarterback in the future. Whereas with the Jordan Love situation, they didn't say anything about Aaron Rodgers. Like, they avoided the topic of how Aaron Rodgers was doing and everything. And everyone assumed they were going to pick a weapon for him. And then they picked his replacement. Instead, they moved up and picked his replacement. So this is definitely a shot at them, because the Packers have done nothing to make Aaron feel like, hey, this is your team, like we want you and all this. And this guy's like, hey, I hope Tom stays here forever because I think he can play until he's 50. So definitely, like without a doubt, a shot at the Packers, which was hilarious. And then finally, last thing to touch on tonight, the NFL schedule is released. The team we already know what teams everyone's playing, but the schedule will just break down when it's going to happen. So look out for that tonight, and we'll get it covered. I'll let you look at some MLB scores here real fast. Dodgers beat the Mariners. Padres beat the Rockies. We'll just go through here. Astros beat the Angels. Yada 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 yada. And then let's also look at the NBA games on tonight. The Nets Spurs, the Pelicans Mavericks. So this is definitely one to watch because the Mavericks are a game ahead of the Lakers right now. Trailblazers at Jazz. Again, the Trailblazers are also a game ahead of the Lakers. So we want to watch that and see what's going to happen in that race. And the Lakers at the Rockets, which this is supposed to be LeBron's first game back. That's the plan. This is going to be his first game back, which is ideal because the Rockets are so bad that you can play him as much or as little as possible, and then he'll be able to. They'll still be able to win if he doesn't play a lot, but you don't have to like push him into anything. So that's what we're watching. Those are the key games. Again, that's Pelicans, Mavericks, Trailblazers, Jazz, Rockets, and Lakers tonight. Thanks for being a busy fan. Thanks for watching.